Welcome back. Well, Dilip Bhatt, Joint MD of Prabhudas Leeladhar, joins in to discuss the fundamentals of the market. But before that, I just want to point out there's some news on 63 Moons. It's executed 55.35% stake sale in its arm, and that entire deal is worth around $9.24 million. Remember, there was this strategic announcement that they were going to make, and the stock was very active ahead of that yesterday and today. So this is basically what they've announced. 9.24 million is what they'll get in terms of that entire 55% that they will be selling in their arm. But let's move over and discuss the fundamentals of the market. Dilip Bhatt is with us, like I mentioned. Dilip, hi, over to you then. Tell us, are you buying or selling Sun Pharma, and what's the news there?
Well, I think the pharma, which had a good tailwind in terms of the rupee depreciation, possibly is now wearing off. And I think this quarterly results also, the way most of this frontline pharma have played out, it appears that the recovery is still a couple of quarters away very easily. I think except for Divi's, which has shown very strong results, I think most of them are still floundering based on whatever happened to them in the past. So I think as far as Sun Pharma is concerned, yes, you can think about take completely contrarian view that maybe next 3 to 4 quarters it may not go anywhere, but still on a risk return basis the downside appears to be limited. So as a defensive portfolio you may think about buying, but not certainly not for any proactive gains that you may be thinking about. But Sun Pharma at the moment from our perspective still is a little wait and watch.
Dilip, hi, morning. What about Yes Bank?
Prashant, I think as far as Yes Bank is concerned, unfortunately there are too many news which has an overwhelming impact on the stock, which refuses to go away, some of this news, and they keep on coming very frequently, very periodically. So I think given that complete situation that we are into, I think Yes Bank at best, I think once again there is no need to be in a hurry to buy this stock, though it looks very attractive and it may give certain good sudden spots and sudden big rises. But given the scenario in which we are operating at the moment, I think it's better to wait and watch and not be in a hurry to buy Yes Bank at the moment.
What about metal stocks? Are you becoming more cautious on them?
Well, I think as far as the metals are concerned, yes, one be a little more careful on the commodities without any doubt, because they have become a little more uncertain and a little more volatile. But in the Indian perspective, and given the production and given the tariffs that exist in India at the moment, I think Tata Steel still appears to be a good play in the metal space. And I would say that something like Jindal Steel and Power also appears to be pretty good. And maybe I would also think that Vedanta, but I think in the pecking order, it would still be Tata Steel and Jindal Steel.
Okay. Dilip, what else is really priority in terms of, top of the mind for you at this point? Absolute returns.
Well, I think the infra space appears to be the one led by Larsen & Toubro. I think that is the space which has been where there is good amount of orders which most of the companies have, and execution is also beginning to pick up in a very serious way. So I think infra companies should merit a look the way they have come off from their highs. So I would look at infra space something like Larsen & Toubro, Nagarjuna Constructions. I think they look pretty interesting. Sadbhav looks pretty decent. I think there's a stock called RPP Infra that also looks pretty good. I think some of these stocks on a risk return basis and also based on their growth and their performance looks pretty interesting.
PSU banks, they might get fresh funding from the government. We still don't know how much, maybe by December. Do you think that maybe there could be, that this capital injection could be enough to sustain them through maybe next year? And what would your hope be in terms of asset quality as well?
So, well, I think this injection of funds and the infusion of funds should give some leg up to the PSU banks in the short run. But I think the moot question still which everybody will be having is that whether the NPAs, I mean, we all agree that the worst of the, the worst of the NPAs are really over at the moment, and there could be some recovery. But on a secular basis, I think the PSU banks will still be under the shadow of what it has done in the past and how it has delivered in terms of the performance. So I think the PSU banks will still not be the ones which everybody will be really looking for, except for maybe State Bank of India, where I think one can still think about a long-term bet. But other PSU banks, I think it would be one would prefer to buy some of the private sector banks.
Okay, Dilip, it's a pleasure as always. Thanks very much for joining and sort of running us through what you make of things there. A lot of stocks on the move, and we discussed a few of them there with Dilip. Just to take a very quick look at what's happening as far as the broader market is concerned. We've not done that since we started at 11. So look at this. Bata should come up on your screen. If you can put these up quickly, I'm going to run through the top stocks with volumes and gains, and then we'll do the same thing on the reverse on the losing side. Bata is up about 2.5. VIP should come up. It was one of the top gainers with volumes yesterday as well. Tata Chemicals will come up, large volumes. It's up about 2.75%. Infowage, that's Naukri, was up big time yesterday. It's up another 4.25%. So there is follow through here. 1,516 on Naukri. Then there is Unichem Laboratories, which is up about 7% or so. And then, I mean, the volume list actually tapers off quite a bit. Zydus Wellness, I mean, maybe we could put that up 6% higher. Zydus Wellness is up is at about 1,212 rupees at this point in time. Okay, on the downside, there is Sun, there is Tata Steel, there is Yes Bank, etc., which we've discussed. We also talked about the steel space like JSW and others. But look at Vodafone Idea, if you can have that up, at about 39. United Phosphorus is down about 2.5%, 755. And, maybe Hero MotoCorp, which was up 6% by close yesterday, it's giving back some of those gains, is around about 3%. Well, we're going to take a very quick break, another one here. And on the other side, Gaurav Bissa of LKP Securities joins in, and we put out some futures and options trading ideas when we return. Back in 2. Okay, welcome back. We're going to talk about a name which hasn't been mentioned, at least not in the recent past. JP Infratech is what I'm talking about. It's a listed name. The Committee of Creditors for JP Infratech is meeting today to evaluate potential bidders. Ritu is getting us this piece of information. She's joining in. Ritu, if you could just provide us with some background in terms of where this entire process left off last time and where are we picking up now?
Well, Prashant, it's really a redo of the entire corporate insolvency proceedings for Jaiprakash Infratech after the Supreme Court ruling the last time around, which actually came to a conclusion because the highest bidder in the first round, that was Suraksha Lakshadweep, did not find the requisite majority from the Committee of Creditors, and it was possible that the company with over 20,000 home buyers, it could head into liquidation, which is why the Supreme Court then ordered that the whole process be restarted with home buyers now becoming a part of the Committee of Creditors. So that process kick-started in October sometime, where fresh invitations were invited for expressions of interest. And as the company itself, released to the exchanges, 5 players have expressed an interest, including 4 from the last time around, which is Suraksha ARC Lakshadweep, Kotak Investment Advisors, Cube Highways, and L&T Infra. Plus, we also have NBCC that has submitted an expression of interest this time around. Now, what we do gather is that today the Committee of Creditors will be holding its first meeting since those EOIs were received. And what they'll really do is set an evaluation matrix today itself with home buyers also, adequate representation from the home buyers in today's meeting. They're hopeful that once they set this criteria, final bids will be invited by January, after which the evaluation for all the final bids will really begin. But do remember, L&T, one of the players that has submitted a bid, has only submitted a conditional bid that it would not be developing the land parcels around the Yamuna Expressway, but only bid for that 150-kilometer long expressway. So some of the bankers we spoke to do believe that, that could be a negative as far as L&T Infra is concerned. Of course, the final bids have to be seen and how they're placed, and also the home buyers, what they have to say about all of these players, given that they're going to have a big say now in the entire process.
Okay, all right, Ritu. Thanks very much for that. But time now to get in some F&O strategies. We have Gaurav Bissau of LKP Securities joining in for that. Gaurav, hi, morning, over to you. Recommendations, both index and stocks?
Good morning. As far as indices are concerned, market seems to have picked up the momentum. Nifty as well as Bank Nifty are looking decent for some more upside. If you compare both the indices, Bank Nifty is one that is looking more interesting. It gave a small breakout about level of 26,300. This is the level from where we saw a couple of times small reversals happening. It sustained those levels, retested the breakout level, and now again jumped towards level of 26,400. If the current level is sustained by tomorrow, we can be heading towards 26,500, 26,600. For Nifty, it can test levels of 10,680, 10,700. Both are buy on dips candidate. For Nifty, one can buy on any dip towards 10,580, keep a stop of 10,540 on the upside. 10,700 can be seen for Bank Nifty. Any dip towards 26,300 is a buy. Stop loss of 26,220 on the upside. 26,600 can be seen. Coming back to the stocks, the first recommendation would be buy on Tata Elxsi. We have seen IT space being resilient in last couple of trading sessions, and Tata Elxsi for one has given a breakout on a daily as well as hourly charts. 10% addition has been seen today, so good amount of long push has seen on breakout. You can test levels of 1,030, 1,040. One can buy. Have a stop loss of 998. Second recommendation would be buy on Canara Bank. PSU banks are looking a little bit decent. Canara Bank has added 6 to 7% addition. 265 has been a very strong hurdle. We have seen strong reversals coming from these levels. If it sustains those levels on daily basis, it can even give a breakout on cup and handle pattern on daily charts. When you keep a stop loss of 263 on the upside, 280, 285 can be seen in next 2 or 3 trading sessions. Final recommendation would be sell on Algo, 2% addition happening. Some shorts are seen getting metal overall as a theme is quite laggard in the market so far. When you keep a stop loss of 67 on the downside, one can play for 60.
Okay, Gaurav, thanks very much. Appreciate you running us through those trading ideas, and we'll touch base again soon. We're down 15 points on the Nifty, so not very much different from when we started at 11 an hour ago. It's a wrap. Thanks very much for staying with us. From Ekta, me, everyone on the team, thank you for watching. Halftime report will take all the action forward.